This is a big one.
This is a big,
And that's
red,
it.
blue, green.
And this has probably had like 6 lives.
Okay.
So it started out differently, and then it was different because I changed it, and then it was different again because I changed it. A band I did see several times, The Talking Heads. It's just a very good book. I'm sure that any of you would enjoy it. You'll learn a great deal about how to make a guitar and about how guitars work. You don't learn very much about Eric Clapton. He doesn't appear in it all that much, actually. But it's about the guy that made his guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy this book.
You didn't really talk
People
about
make fun of me for that, of the sky, because previously we did not have a focal point, so now this
Of the
draws
sky.
your eyes, hopefully, to the skyline and the red in the central tree. It's a classic, Elvis Costello and the Attractions. This was not my first Elvis Costello album. That first one was the first Elvis Costello album, but I remember being in London when his second album had come out, which I love. It's a great album. But his name is Wayne Henderson. This was not my first Talking Heads CD album.
Yeah.
That first one would have been Talking Heads 77. This, however, is their second album, as you're well aware.
Yeah.
More songs about buildings and food, which had their first big hit on it, of course, which was their cover of Take Me to the River. This was painted with oil.
Is that a petit village there?
No, is that what?
Is that a village there, Andy?
There's a little bit of kind of the hint of perhaps a river here and a roadway here, but it's not really
No, but
clear.
right over the...
He was into punk a little before I was. And
Yeah.
he liked The Clash, although actually his favorite was The Jam, who, as you know, is one of Mom's favorites too.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful guitar. There's newspaper underneath, as you can see here, here, and here. And then it's oils.
It's just like the edge of a...
It's like Tanner. It's not oil, but rather that is acrylic.
Lighting. Bad.
And then I cut pieces of paper and glued them onto a board.
Cool.
And then painted it.
Nice.
And then I made the frame and painted that as well, and then there's a board in the back.
Beautiful, Dad.
Thank you.
The lighting's not great.
Let's
But it still
turn on
shines
the
through.
lights. It's one of my favorites. Is Get Happy. I got this when I was working in New York. I saw Elvis Costello many times as well. But this is a great album. This is a collection of really short soul songs, both covers and originals. Question. He's in Rugby, Virginia. Is the answer to the question that no one else asked. Which has also changed many times. So these are newspapers
Lovely.
I brought back from Japan.
Yeah.
And they're underneath that's with oils.
Uh-huh.
And originally they were in a square, but then I changed them to fit this space. And there are also Japanese words painted on there. So my friend Neil, who I was talking about, we were at the Berkavenia. There's a bar in the Lower East Side, and the Clash were playing 7 shows, I think it was, at Bond's Casino in Times Square. And we talked about getting tickets. We were going to do so, but then the shows got canceled because the fire marshal pulled the plug on them. And then we ended up not getting the tickets, but then they rescheduled them all, and they ended up having the whole run of shows. But since we had dawdled, we did not end up going. It talks all about the wood that they used to make the guitar.
Pretty.
That one's once again newspapers underneath. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
That's actually from the New York Review of Books as opposed to a Japanese newspaper.
Any book in particular?
No, however, it does say
Says-
galleries and something else. I can't remember. Exhibits, maybe?
Museums?
Is the name, or museums, that is the name of the painting. And so there I made the frame as well. That's oils over newspaper. Actually, it's over the New York
Your
Review of Books, so
lantern.
it's not really newspaper. Oh, so here you go. One of Eric Clapton's guitars, a guitar that he has played, so not like one that this guy made for him.
Yeah.
Sold at Christie's for $700,000.
Whoa.
Talks about the type of wood they used. I don't remember what it was right now. They talk about the he uses Brazilian redwood, rosewood, Appalachian spruce, black ebony, and mother of pearl. So those are for the guys here on the neck.
Right.
It talks about the bracing and how that helps generate the sound.
Cool.
Yes. In New York, I'd say that Talking Heads show in Central
Me?
Park.
Oh, it's Central Park.
Oh, there was the REM show we saw
Yeah, that's
on the
good. At
West
Lincoln-
Side.
Lincoln Theater?
Wasn't that theater? It's a theater on the West Side.
Yeah.
Whose name I can't remember. That was great. That was after their second album. And we have this one, which I'm not happy with yet. I'll probably change it again. No. So
No.
I have.
Oh, no.
Oh,
No,
no.
no.
I have a Martin guitar.
Yeah.
As you know. I have 2 Martin guitars, actually.
Yeah.
But neither of which I can play very well. Or the specials on the pier. That was another Dr. Pepper show. The Go-Go's opened for them. And then the specials, and that was great. That's been changed like 27 times. And
Okay.
it's still not quite right. But
Oh,
anyway,
I
that's
like
the
it.
sun. And that's over some newspaper once again in oils. I need to frame again. They stained the frame this time. Martin makes several different models of guitars. And then within each model, they will sometimes have ones that are like tweaked a little bit based on what the particular guitarist likes. And this is one that was Clapton collaborated on the design of the guitar, and so they tweaked it a little bit. So mine is the Eric Clapton model of that type of Martin guitar.
Cool.
The shows I saw in New York, the shows I saw at CBGB's weren't very good. One, which I also have changed, but I like this one, so I'm not going to change that one again.
Yeah.
That's just like a sunset.
No, I like that one
That's
a lot.
Oils. Yeah, I like that one a lot
That's really
too.
pretty.
Yeah, it came out well. Oils, over a little bit of newspaper, not too much. I may change the frame a little bit too, but I made the frame too. So the frame's painted
Beautiful.
as well. Oh, so there used to be a summer music festival in New York, but that probably doesn't exist anymore, called the Dr. Pepper Festival. And they originally was at the Woolman Rink in Central Park, and that's where the Talking Heads show I saw. But then they moved it to one of the piers on the Hudson River. And it would just be, and that's where I saw the specials, but they had every summer they would have like 10 or 15 really good shows.
Yeah.
And it was Dr. Pepper Festival, it was called.
Oh, cool.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Wow.
And then my oldest one,
Yes.
in the main floor, though they're strewn all over the house too, is this one, which that's the place we
92.
went. Yep, place we went on our honeymoon. I think it's Brantôme. It's in the Dordogne region of France.
This is more
And that's
of a
oils. The perspective isn't very good, but I do like some of the. I kind of screwed up the perspective, but I like some of the.
No, I like
reflection
the
in water.
reflection. The
in water, I
color
think,
is
came
really
out well.
pretty.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't quite get the perspective right on the way the houses ring around the river, but that's okay. I still like it.
That's all right.
Yeah.
And that's you.
And that's actually like a real legitimate frame, as opposed to the other things that were frames that I made.
I like the frames
So
you
that's
made.
our tour of the downs of this floor's artwork. Dave, our friend Dave, who went on to become the dean of the business school at San Luis Obispo.
Of course. Naturally.
But yeah, he passed out in front of the speaker at CBG. He fell down asleep. Or bodies, so Martin guitars tend to be very deep, and I'm not a big person, so I like mine because I can play it. And you can play it both with a pick and finger pick.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's all I have to say. Yeah, it was down the street from the McSorley's Ale House, around the corner from the Selka coffee shop. I don't like this one that much, so.
Okay. Won't show that.
Well, you can. It's okay. It's not bad. It fits the hallway nicely. It's got kind of a movement to it, but I don't like it that much. I think that's
I like
called.
that
It's
one.
called like Route 66, I think. Like it's a road.
I think.
I don't remember it. I paid that. I mean, this is like 10 years old, so I actually would have to take it off the wall and look at the back of it. But that's
that one.
oils and some newspaper mixed in as well. In that case, Tractor in Charlottesville,
right,
they were
right.
going to play a show at a fraternity house, and one of the guitar players, I think it was
The
Mike
cute
Richmond.
one.
Yeah,
Oh
Mike
my God,
Richmond
so
was walking down the street, and he was kind of lost. And we're like, "Oh, we're going to the show. We can tell you where it is."
Oh, cute.
Yes, little man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in one of the big, not one of the big ones on Mad Bull, but like
Yeah,
back
yeah,
in, the
yeah,
middle-
yeah.
in the neighborhood somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. We saw them at what was that place called? Not Tracks, the Underground. Gosh, I'm blanking on the name of it. It was downstairs. it's not there anymore. But we saw them many times there. Those were all great shows. Those would definitely be one of my favorites. Henderson Guitar. I think they're these small guitar makers in a lot in southeastern Virginia and North Carolina.
Yeah.
Who are just legendary.
Mm-hmm.
They make these beautiful guitars. They don't make that many a year. Like less than 100 probably, and they sell for a lot of money. But they're just really nice guitars.
Yeah.
And I think there's sort of an appeal to getting one that's from someone where it's a small.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Martin is wonderful. They're wonderful guitars, but they're a lot of they're pretty big for an acoustic guitar company. They're pretty big. And then there's this one.
Yes.
That's colored pencil on Bristol board. And there's the Tree of Life, it's called. And then if you look, there are lots of words mixed into the design. You can have a fun game of trying to find them.
This look like the old Basmati show posters you would do.
It does. So we have them. REM at U-Haul was great. I like this too. He uses when he's gluing the stuff together. He just uses things that you use for a report.
Oh, cool! Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember going to the Martin Guitar Factory amps? Which is your old Basmati show poster, which is somewhat similar.
Very cool.
Hmm?
And
It's
a little Christmas card.
Yeah.
You can really see.
No.
And then that
And
one.
then there's that one.
We can do these at a later date, I suppose.
And there's a few upstairs too. So there are quite a few, as you can see. So that's our tour.
Thanks, Dad. Ian and Greg. Artiste. How do you feel about that, Mom?
I think it's a great idea.
Portrait of a woman.
Too
reading
close.
Smut.
X-rated. You can't sit. You're just a child. You're gonna be loud.
The Butthole Surfers and Tracks was great. Mom's
Yeah.
favorite show.
No.
Jason and the Scorchers at Tracks.
Still deaf.
Jason
Still
and the
have
Scorchers at Tracks. No, this is a much smaller guitar maker. But so that looks like my guitar actually.
Yeah.
It's very similar. Well, obviously, acoustic guitar shape, but even the design is similar. The headstock is a different shape. But no, it is not a Martin guitar. Now, on the other hand, my Martin guitar is the Eric Clapton model. The DBs at they had some beautiful guitars there.
Mm-hmm.
I saw several shows at CNO. They were usually kind of bluegrass or folk shows. The Elvis Costello at U-Haul was great. The Pretenders at U-Haul, that was really good.
Wow.
Dr. Pepper Festival for Dr. Pepper that year was in Central Park and Woolman Rink in Central Park.
Mm-hmm.
So this looks like my grandmother. So the Kinks at Hamilton, they played at the old gym at Hamilton, which
That's crazy.
That was held like maybe 300 people at the most. That was before they became two separate things. There was only one WTJU back then. All right then. We bought some really cheap steak and a baked potato. You could get as much beer as you could drink. Yes, at Madison Square Garden. That wasn't the first concert. That was the first concert I went to by myself.
Somebody's got to watch the clock around here.
How many concerts did you see at the Garden? Or did you go to a bunch there?
No, I only remember going to Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, there was another one, but I don't remember it.
I went to Yes there several times. I think I might have gone less, actually. No, I was with some friends in high school. I saw Yes several times.
Yes,
I was a
you did.
big Yes fan.
Cool.
Yeah. I saw them at the stadium in New Jersey. That was a lot of fun. Some old dump stadium they were playing. Wayne's mother. That looks like my dad's mother,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh, really?
Not like my mom. Not the one from that part of the world, but from upstate New York.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Jason
truly.
and the Scorchers.
So that actually, Jason and the Scorchers, Mom thought was loud because she didn't go to Dinosaur Jam. That was insanely loud. It was a good show, but I don't know. They actually that Yola Tango show was great.
Yeah.
The Animal Collective things were good. They were fun. But I would say maybe that Yola Tango was my favorite.
Yeah.
Of the ones we went to. Yeah. The Grateful Dead. All right. And I unfortunately did not overlap with the members of Payback.
Yeah, I know. Or Yola Tango.
Yola Tango. They were, but literally like a year later.
I was there too in summer of what would have been we were in college. 77 or 78,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah,
I liked it.
77,
We were at that
78.
show, not together. I might have.
There
In
we go.
spirit.
I never saw X. They were so. I was in Baltimore
Heard of
once.
them?
When I was in Charlottesville. I went up to Baltimore once for a weekend of drinking and
Debauchery.
and actually
Right.
going to we went to an O's game too.
Right.
And Tom Smith was going to see the Grateful Dead the next day, and he said, "You should stick around for another day and come. You know, we can get an extra ticket." And I said, "No, I have to get back for class." My parents
Barry
wanted
White?
me to go see Led Zeppelin at Madison Square Garden. My parents felt that was not a wise idea. I think my first concert was Louis Armstrong.